Hello guys and welcome back to another Elden Ring video. My name is Nesto and today I want to show you my Death from Above build that I've been having quite fun with it. Wanted to try other things other than my main dex build that I have. I love curved swords and I think with this build definitely is a good fit for the fact that the sword is one of the few weapons in the game that their animation and the combos are very smooth. For the most part, the build works with slash weapons. So when you jump in, you want to have either this motion or you want to have this kind of motion, like let's say, even though that doesn't have an actual word, but just to give you an example, what I mean, you want to have weapons that when you jump, you have this sort of like either slash or Hulk smash animation like this one, because you're gonna be constantly jumping. So this either in PvP or PvE definitely slaps. Having weapons like this is very key for this type of build. I personally enjoy using the curved swords, especially the scavengers, for the fact that it already has some blood buildup, and you can put it with frostbite if you prefer, like me. I do love frostbite. If you wanna go over the bleed route, that's perfectly fine. You can put occult, so it's scaled with arcane, and then with that route, and then constantly prop bleed. But I feel like at some point bleed is gonna get adjusted, so I'm trying to not rely on those kind of things to do the damage. And base, what other options do I have if option A is out of the equation, right? Instead of just using the Black Hood, which is definitely works really good for invasions and stuff like that, where it kind of slows, tones down the volume of your steps and your jumps a little bit. Not completely gone like the black knife armor, but it definitely enhances the sounds a little bit. If you don't want to go over that, you can just definitely go over, if you're using, let's say, any bleed build, you can use either the Abinaric mask or the Silver Tier mask, which is definitely a good fit. Also, as you didn't know, this one provides arcane as well. As you can see, it provides 4 arcane. I don't know if you knew that, but it gives you a little bit of arcane. You want to go the bleed route. That's actually another thing. For talisman, you want to have Radagon Sword Seal, which is basically best in slot there. You also want to have the Erdatri's Favor +2, and then you want to have the Claw Talisman to enhance the jumps attacks. And also, if you have it, Millicent Prosthesis, if you go on the bleed route, you can do the Lord's Blood Exaltation. And also, if you have the Wire Mask, you can also put it up to stack up 20% damage. That's another way you can do this build, but definitely you have to have the Raptor Black Feathers, because this enhances your jump attacks, so you definitely increase your damage when you're jumping. And the other thing, which is the main star of this build, is the Raptor of the Mist Ash of War, which I feel is very underrated. Most people don't use it, and it's super valuable for what it does and what it gives to you. You can constantly spam it. You can parry and then jump from this from above and do the jump attack. And also you can constantly negate damage, because even if you don't get the parry proc, the enemy doesn't hit you. Just to give you a quick example here, I'm gonna get this aggro next NPC. See, it doesn't hit me even if I miss. Again, and there you go, boom, done. And I can do the same over and over and over and over. And if you time it right, you're either never gonna get hit, or you constantly gonna get that jump proc from the sky. And if the enemy has more health, obviously, because this one just dies real quick, you're gonna proc the frostbite in one set. Same for the bleed. So it's definitely a very fun way to play the game. Most people just don't ignore some of the stuff that you can that then the game has to offer. What I want to do is provide you a template where you can use it and modify it to your needs. Now, if you don't want to use the corpse swords, you want to make sure that you have some sort of like weapon where it has this slash animation like the corpse swords, or if you have, for example, another one that you can do is like the twin blades is another good candidate, very similar to the corpse swords. Another, let me equip it so you can see. Okay, it's kind of the same as you can see, very similar to the cursor. So you want that animation like that, or the other option that you have is weapons like this, like the, let's say, Gold Harbor. Even though the Gold Harbor you cannot equip Ash of War, but just to give you an example of the type of weapon that you need to use in this build in order to be successful, is having this sort of poke smash animation. This thing, whoever you get in PvP or in PvE, definitely is gonna do a huge amount of damage. And imagine you spamming this with the Raptor of the Mist, just jumping and hitting the target like this. This one is gonna be very brutal. I got hit by this type of move in PvE, even though that the person didn't have any some sort of damage enhancement on jumps attack, and it was brutal. So it definitely this does some damage. So you want this kind of weapons in your build in order to use this build properly. Now, in terms of stats, guys, you want to put some points into Vigor, also endurance. You want to make sure that endurance is very close to 50 to get that soft cat, especially with corpse swords and big weapon that definitely drains the endurance, the stamina quite a bit. You want to spec as much endurance possible, Vigor, and the main stat, in this case, dexterity. If you go over the bleed route, then you can put more points in arcane. You have to have a good balance between dexterity and arcane if that's the case. If you're using the frost route, you can put at least 70 in dexterity and at least close to 20 in intelligence. This is another build that I've been using, but the stats should be very, very similar. Like I said, you want to spec some 50 or so in Vigor, endurance close as 50 as possible, and also in your main stats of the weapon or the things that you're using. If you're using, for example, the cursors with occult, you probably want to spend more points in arcane rather than dexterity because the scaling is better. But if you go over the cold blow affinity, then dexterity will be the way to go. If you're using the blood route, if you're using the frostbite route, you can put as close as 20 in intelligence, and then dexterity. Try to get as much as close to 80, which is the soft cap for any like major stat. So you want to do that. Same for like I said with arcane, if you're using the occult for weapons that already have bleed in it. So depending really how you want to set it up, but for me the most important stats usually goes between the Vigor and endurance, because if you plan doing PvP, you definitely need the Vigor, and because these weapons are very demanding on stamina, you also want the endurance. So when you run it, you don't run out of stamina, or when you're doing the hits of the combos, you don't run out of stamina and then be short or not finishing the attack. Like I said, depending on how you want to set it up, you can just use the main stat as close as 80, and then try to cap to 20 at least the secondary, the second best scaling on your weapon. Try to get it to 20. I'm gonna say 150. I feel like I'm been doing PvP constantly, me personally, and 150 is being non-stop PvP, especially duels. I'm not very fan of the invasions though, because the invasion are a little like cringe, where they put you in a very small area with 3 people, and I'm not very fan of that. So 150 for me for duels is being great. So I'm planning to stay there, but if you go beyond that, then you have plenty of points to spend. But like I said, me personally, I'm just dedicating myself to PvP, so I'm gonna say 150 for now. And this is what I have in terms of stat. This is my other build, but this stat that you see here was perfectly fine for the build that I rock. And yeah, I've been doing a lot of PvP with this, in those two buff super lethal in PvP. This is very hard for me to test in the way I want in this game because it's very limited. You have to like be considerate that you're gonna be spending the larva tiers just like that. Otherwise you have to like do another rerun. So and naturally you need a friend, that which I don't have, or which has somebody dedicated to do all the testing that I want to do in this game, to provide you the best build that I can do. So yeah, guys, this is a build very much. I hope you enjoy. If you have any question, feel free to post it in the section below. I'm trying to make all the different builds that people not using. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It's free. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.